Hello there, citizens, and welcome to Randolfski City Skylines episode 7. Since the last episode, there has been work going on behind the scenes, and by that I mean my darling wife has put in all of our bus infrastructure and and painted the town all these different routes. And we're going to start off by me showing you what exactly she has implemented. So, we're going to have all these different lines here and where they go to. So each neighbourhood tends to have a route of its own. Each school has its own bus route in the local vicinity. And we also have one bus route running from both the western quadrant and the eastern quadrant round the industrial zone and back. So people can get to and from work. There is some work still to be done in terms of doing University Town and tying that in with the rest. And our bus depot over here, we've had to put in some infrastructure to accommodate it. So we've put it out here sort of on its own. There's just some offices next to it. They have priority access to this road. It should pretty much only be buses and service vehicles. So they can go out there and then come this way. So this is where they're currently running from. You can see we've got all these different lines. They've been named appropriately. The other thing I wanted to query, to see if any of you can answer me. You can remember that I got very excited building this dam. And I was jumping up and down about it, you know, we're producing a lot of power. Somehow the amount of power that we're producing is pretty much halved. Now, I'm not going to pretend to understand why that's happened, because I don't. And as far as I can see, the water level is much the same. Like at the far side, you know, at the far side it's unchanged. Here, nothing's really changed. The one thing that is concerning me is, if you remember this place that I was going on about being really excited about and really enjoying having built in the last episode, is now more or less underwater. And if I'm being frank, I have no idea why. I don't know why all of a sudden the water level's risen here. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong. And these do not have any power. Okay, but we'll change that. So yeah, our power's obviously struggling. We've got our water sources we've moved down here. But yeah, when we first built this, I'm sure it was at like 560 megawatts. I don't know how it's lost like 200. I'll unpause it, you can see nothing's changing. So I really don't know what's going on there. I took the opportunity with Amy doing a bit of work to basically soundproof all of our highway next to our towns. And hopefully change that. I'm just looking at the traffic here and thinking we should really upgrade that to be a double lane road. Doesn't necessarily have to be there, but hopefully that lets it flow a bit more. But other than that, I mean, our city's running. We've got access everywhere to what people need. We're trying to basically empty this so we can delete it. It's at 51%. And honestly, we kind of need to do the same here. This is obviously affecting this quadrant and its growth. We are making 12,000 a turn just now, which is really good. Really, really good. Honestly, putting in the bus routes, it just made our income soar. Like, absolutely soar. I also added a touch more education. As you can see, we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 education centres. You can see we're well educated here, and then this is sort of... Well, we're working on it. We'll say we're working on it. Next up, we're going to put our university at 75,000. My plan here is probably to place it maybe over this direction on a little road of its own. We could probably put that in just now. A nice sort of low density road. I think what we'll do is pull it off this way, and we'll do that. This can be where we can pop our university. So what we need to do is wait on it. How much is it again? 75,000 income to build the university. So we need 75,000 in the bank. We've also had a request that our town with a population of 30,000 needs something to rally behind. What we really need is a local football team. So I'm going to float the suggestion of, do we have a name for our football team? And also, where do you think the football stadium should go? Like, where would you put it in this this vast display of wealth and modern living? I was contemplating maybe putting it on the bank here. Maybe starting to build around that. We could have this motorway sort of revolve around our sports here, and perhaps we'll add some tourism and whatnot and have like a tourist area on the bank of the river. You can see money-wise, we're pretty comfortable. Our population is soaring just now. Absolutely soaring. And water-wise, we're absolutely a-okay. Garbage. I am contemplating, do we buy another square? It'll almost definitely be here we buy, and then we can maybe put in some more industrial zone. The other thing I meant to look at is natural resources, because I know we had a decent amount. Like here, I really want to get into the ore. We can get like an ore area, do something with that. Yeah, but our short-term plans currently are... Oh, our university is now ready. I'm going to... Just going to build this along here. Like so. And we'll pop our university here if we can. So we pop our university maybe there. There we go. And then these. We can put in some high residential commercial here. I might actually, in fact, I'm going to put the high residential commercial around here. So we've laid the groundworks. This is pretty much all, it's not really this, this tiny little bit of pipe that we need here. That's going to offer the service it needs there. So people are moving in, the university's obviously going to open. It's going to cost us a bit more money, but it's going to ramp up. Like it's going to really ramp up our education level, which means we'll get more offices and higher level businesses. So nothing but good stuff. I really don't understand what's happened with this dam. I'm not going to pretend to. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Our university area here is obviously, wow, it's really expanding now. It really is expanding. The offices are coming straight in. Great to see. So university, theRandolfski University. I am open to better names, and I'm sure someone will come up with one. That's pretty pathetic on my part, honestly. I do want to. I don't think it's going to be this episode, but very soon we're probably going to delete this street. And we're going to have the highway come all the way through. And then what I'm probably going to do is delete most of our infrastructure here off this street. And we're going to rework the entire thing here. The entire thing. A lot of cool messages, people saying that they like sort of the layout. And I like that we've not used a lot of grids. Like, I do not like grids, as I've made abundantly clear. I'm honestly contemplating just throwing in some small streets here that are off this one way. Just in terms of a bit of extra, that are just a bit of extra housing basically. So we'll just do that. And we're only going to put them along one side. So like so, and then just... So just doing that. Now that is a one-way street and I did not mean to do that. I meant to put in just a normal street, so my bad. Anywhere there's little gaps, just like we did there, we're going to try and fill in. So for example, we could probably put another street in the midst of it here. The other thing I wanted to experiment with, and I'm not sure if anyone's used this. See if you put paths in. But you can obviously build your own sort of parks in your own areas here, and you can go into sort of detail and build your own beds and whatnot. My question I was going to ask was, if I build paths, can I then put parks on them? So for example, right, if I build a path from there to there, okay? So we've put in a path. Can I then go to parks and put a park off that? No, you can't. Interesting. Well, what I do want to do anyway is put a park in here. I was going to put a park in there just to try and boost a bit of happiness. And I guess that offers a pedestrian walkway if they want to use it. Will anyone use it? They will. Excellent. Cool. Well, I'm going to start abusing paths. I've made the decision. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this bit of land. I want to expand these roads. Now this is kind of, I mean honestly it's a kind of boring grid road here. There's no point in pretending it's anything else. But the plan here is just to build a nice grid, maximising building area, like so. That's bothering me immensely. We'll do that just now and then we can. Okay, game stayed paused, so we'll get a wee bit of money back. And then here, some more offices there. We're going to keep the high-res streets on the go here. Sorry, along the end here we're going to have some high business area. Might as well fill all this space. The only place I'm not too keen to fill just now is this, and I think we'll add some parks in there. Everyone loves dog parks, so there's a dog park going in there. Already got a park there. Should maybe put in something for the intellectuals. I feel like a botanical garden will look pretty cool next to the uni. Like it sort of makes sense, you know, it's the type of thing where there could be study, could be some botanists, something along those lines. We've got a nice botanical gardens in there. This place is expanding exceptionally fast. We now have access to this full bank area. I kind of want to keep this like a separate entity. I don't want there to be loads of traffic coming through here. But what I'll probably do is I'll probably put a small road here. That can be like a services for on and off. I'm going to create a one-way road like this. So we've got that, and then what I'm going to do is create like so. So I'm going to do that, and then here what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer a road back and forth here. That's daft actually. I'm talking nonsense. I'm going to offer a junction there onto there. So traffic can come off there and go through there. That's fine. And then what I probably want to do is, once this road's all in, I'll put something else sort of similar there. And then here I'm going to put in some... Basically, I like to look at these as like services. So you know when you're on a long drive and you maybe pull in somewhere, you know, you maybe grab a sandwich or something of the sort. That's what this is. This is somewhere you can go and you can refuel for your adventures. Then what I'll need to do is offer an on-road, so I'll probably need to put a small junction here, if we can. So perhaps through one of the office spaces, or maybe even up here towards this corner. We could just put a wee road here. A wee road, like so. And then what I'm probably going to need to do is look at some of these junctions here. Stops. In fact, the same, we don't need the lights or anything there, so that's decent power. Here we'll just put a stop sign and keep the traffic flowing there. Oh! And just like that, we're now a capital city. We reach a new height of 36,000 in population. We've got access to ships, harbour, cargo harbour, and another area. Okay, we can build a stadium, but it's 200 grand. And as I said, I'd like to ask you folks where you think we should be putting... where you actually think we should be putting that. I'm going to check the zones here to see where we can put an incinerator. And I'm thinking we put one over here somewhere. Got enough parks here. This is probably one of our best looked after areas, honestly. I do see that there is an industrial demand creeping up. I am conscientious of that. Very conscientious. I've placed all these new wind turbines here, and I'm going to end up having to probably delete or move them to relink this highway, so that's fantastic. Here, the water level has somehow changed again, and they are saying that they need educated workers. I'm not sure how that's working, considering we're at one of the best educated levels we've ever been. Public libraries, I'm pretty sure I've only got one. I'm not sure how much they're really wanting here, how much we can offer. You know, these are massive. Plus, it's 2021. No one really uses libraries now. Everything's accessible online, and it's scarily easy to get access. I might put a library there. See if that helps at all. There's 7 public library users. That's making me think to myself, maybe you've got better ways to spend your money. I've got a massive... I definitely feel like we're going to have to upgrade our education services here. I might make this like an education hub and put both a high school and an elementary school here. So we could put an elementary school on the bank here right next to these buildings that are being built. So there's one there. And then a high school we could probably slam in as well, but where do we want to put that? Like so. That'll make that happen. This is going to be like our education centre here. Got a quick way on and off the highway. No one is using this highway as far as I can see. Like literally not a vehicle. So we probably need to make a way. We've got a way on now. A way on. A way off and a way on. We need to obviously mirror that at the other side. And they're long-term plans. Long-term plans. We've just spent obviously a fair whack upgrading our power infrastructure, but this should be flying up now and we should be constantly on the money. But 491 electricity production. The intensity is obviously going to vary day to day, but that's going to be a consistent box tick now. Okay, rubbish seems to be the reoccurring issue. We're once again having problems, which is just fantastic to keep dealing with. Really enjoy dealing with it constantly. It's a really good time. I wonder if I just do it this episode, if I just build this and we get this all fixed. Although this could pretty much be an episode doing that in itself. I do need to build another incinerator. I'm honestly contemplating popping one down right next door there. And just burning it. Maybe do the same here. Just put one down, burn it quick fire. I'm going to do that as an experiment actually. I'm going to put that there, we can always move it later on. And I'm going to see if this is any quicker. I'm going to check our little bus depot as well. How they're getting on. Some offices moved in here. The buses appear to be doing just fine. There's none sitting sort of choked up. There's 78 buses in use from this depot. That is that's insane. That is insane. This area is kind of empty here. I could honestly maybe put in a small street here. In fact, that could be pretty cool. So let's do that. Nothing's going to fit in there. So if we do that, then we'll turn on the curves. And we'll get our curves on. Do that. That there. Like so. I'm going to put a wee dirt road here, right? I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put the park in behind. Always a dog park. You know how it is. I'm going to make this a commercial zone. A low residential commercial zone here. Nothing extravagant, just a place for people to come to the shop, walk their dog. You know, the simple things in life. Yeah, so Chris, this is your residence. You can see that the Old Castani residence, that should be a historic building, it's not meant to change. You currently have 4 teens, 5 adults and 4 seniors. 10 of you are educated, 1 of you is uneducated. That's probably you, Chris. And we've got 1 educated, 1 highly educated. So this house has been here since the start. You've got your own solar panels, very green, very forward thinking. I respect that. I'm going to have a quick look at our health just now. Our health care is excellent. Our death care is not great, to be honest. Should maybe slam in a crematorium here. We'll put it right next to the... Probably not next to the elementary school. That's maybe a little bit weird, champ. Put it next to the high school. That works. Holy crap, what's happening here? Okay, this is... I mean, it's flowing. I mean, the traffic's flowing here. No one can fault that. Like, wow, look at the sheer volume of cars coming in there. That's wild. Where have they all came from? Next episode, we're going to have to commit. We're going to have to build this, and it's going to have to go through. This is way too much traffic going on this small road here. At least these folks are getting plenty of footfall. So this is going to be its own town, right? This is never going to be a massive area. Never ever going to be a massive area. That, in fact, I'm going to move that. Just wasted money, but I'm going to put it more centered. I should give a bit more coverage. There we go. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to expand this much beyond that. There'll maybe be wee bits and bobs we put here and there, but largely I'm going to leave it untouched. I really don't understand what's going on with the power and the water here. I also don't understand how this place flooded and is now completely fine. But I'll take it. Our buses, 952 residents are riding on buses a week. I'm fairly happy with that, I would say. What percent are we at here now? We're at 28%, we can almost delete that. That's nice. Crime up here is apparently terrible, as is the fire coverage. So I'm going to put 1 fire station on each end. Okay, we're at 23,000 surplus a week. Our power, is that off? Power's going again. Power is turning into our great challenge. Made some nice progress though. I'm wondering if we put in any more streets. I was trying to keep this area deliberately. I was trying to keep this very low key. I'm going to put a crematorium there, and I'm going to put a graveyard across from the hospital. So that should help there long term. Fire brigade, we need to get like some big daddies down. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 firehouses. Our population has been soaring this episode. Absolutely soaring. We're at 42k now. I'm going to do this just now. I mean, that is a mess to look at, but hopefully short term it's going to sort of carry. And here I'm going to try and put in a little bit more of a residential area, perhaps some higher density. I'm going to try and keep, as I said, I am going to try and keep these places separate. I need some commercial, but obviously I want residential. That there, and we'll get some high-res commercial in here. We'll do the same there. There we go. Now this is messy. I get it. This isn't long-term though. This isn't our final solution here. This is just part-time. This place is probably going to spread like wildfire. I do kind of want to link them up, but I also like the idea of them being completely separate. So I'm going to do my best to try and keep them away from one another just now. Got 117 grand in the bank. 117 grand in the bank. We're looking really quite healthy. Somehow our industrial demand has just absolutely soared. Like it's literally skyrocketed. I really don't want to grid, but you know, sometimes it is the most efficient method, isn't it? There we go. And we'll just slam in some. I'm gonna keep it high res. I'm gonna keep it high res for now. They're gonna need water. So there's some more housing available there if people want to move in. I'm also wondering if we use some of this 168,000 we currently have in the bank, okay? If we just take the hit. It's going to be a massive financial loss, but if we delete this railway and put this into a tunnel, because otherwise this town is isolated here, we could put in a roundabout here and this would immediately be sorted. So I think I'm going to take the hit. This should be fine. Okay, I didn't realise just how long this tunnel's going to... Tunnel's going to be pretty goddamn massive. So we're going to transport. We're going to trains. So how quickly can we get that going down? There, right. So the other thing is, I guess we can straight line it. Oh my god, the cost. So we can do that, and then can we just bring it up here? No, 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 no. No, no, no. Okay, we're getting our money back. That's the main thing. I guess the terrain is wildly different here. Okay, thank God I paused the game for a change. I'm normally an idiot and I don't pause. So if I do that, that's still under, and then I come up here. There we go. That should work, right? That's the same as before? Yep, totally the same. Right, that was a good move. I'm gonna sell it as a good move. Do we need a roundabout? Maybe we just join up the roads. So that's a 4-lane road with trees. We could probably just get away with just doing that. Yeah, that should be fine. That is. Our train line should be fine. Is there still trains moving on it? Yeah, there's still trains coming. That's perfect. And obviously, with it being offices next to it, they're not going to kick up too much of a fuss. Also means we can finish building this wonderful area. Then we'll go back to our road and we'll continue building this. Bring this round here. That'll do. Right, this is going to be pretty much entirely industrial. Seems to be a massive demand for industrial here. I hope Amy's prepared to put in some more work here and get some more bus routes laid out. There's a brand new wing we've set up. If an industry's that desperate to move in, they can pretty much come in instantly. We're at 25 grand a week income just now. But at 25 grand income, our towns need more poopy treatage and more water. I do wish sometimes that there's more water abilities available. So there we go. Should be our water fine now. Our sewage treatment is good. Excellent. Okay, the other thing we did unlock is we can get our second floating... No, we can't. We need to hit 48,000, which we're about to. So once we've hit 48,000, we'll get in a floating cafe, and that'll be our second feature thing we've got built down here. Although I'm not sure how much I would fancy going to a floating cafe for lunch when there is basically poopy treatment plants just across from us whilst I'm eating my steak and potatoes or my lovely pasta. There will certainly be a slight aroma in the air. We're actually, we're kind of soaring now in terms of how much we're growing. Maybe I put this one round here. Although that's literally on the poopy plant. We could do that and build a small road. Or maybe we put it here and put another road out there. All this hassle for a floating cafe. It'd be worth it. So saying it needs road access, what, from here? Is that it? There we go. Finally. Okay, our problem just now is, of course, garbage. This will be empty by the end of the next Strimstram. This will be empty by the end of the next video. Hopefully it's at 14%. We can delete that and then we'll just move the incinerator next to the next one and we'll get them emptied as soon as possible. There is currently surplus space here for some residential to go in. I think our industrial zone here is at capacity. I don't think that'll be getting much bigger. In fact, just before we finish up, I'm just going to put in some midway roads here. They're not necessarily even. That's fine. Financially, we are the most secure we've been. Our city's the biggest it's ever been. Our university town is now absolutely soared in size. This is probably one of our most densely populated areas now looking at it. I think next episode, unless anyone has an alternative suggestion, we're going to look at expanding this highway all the way through, which means we'll probably spend most of the episode redoing this and bringing this into all being one highway, one consistent road that sort of dissects the town, which means in all likelihood we'll probably be deleting a lot of our overpasses and reworking this. We'll honestly be changing the full aesthetic of the town. There's no doubt about it. Looking at this, what I'm going to quickly do is we do have a loan. I am going to pay it back because I hate owing anybody anything. So we're going to do that. Our electricity during the day is down. That's probably been part of my problem from when I changed that. Our garbage, I'm going to put up both ways just to try and burn it off and get rid of it. Was that our problem with the power? Okay, look at that. I've solved my own mystery. The question of our power output has been me. I have been my own worst enemy. I have been the man who sabotaged our dam's power production. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought that? But I'm going to pause it here. This seems like a good place to end. We've had some serious expansion this time. We've got brand new areas all over the place. We've almost filled the entirety of the North Bank. Our starting area is, well, it's mainly full, honestly, isn't it? Our starting area was here. That's almost entirely full now. There's honestly very little space for new builds, which I do like to see. Our buffer zones that were between our quadrants and the rest of the residential areas are almost gone. This is emptying. It's at 40%. But yeah, next episode, gang, we're going to start This highway is going to be brought all the way through the town. Do we do a tunnel or a bridge? I think we'll do a bridge. And that'll hopefully take some of the traffic off this dam. Our football stadium is the big thing I'd like to discuss. We can get the money together to build it, no problem. But the question remains, where do we want to put it? Where do we put it? I was originally thinking we maybe put it here on the bank. Somewhere along here. I'm open to maybe putting it here. It would be good to have it next to the highway. So we can maybe build some off-roads here. Or if anyone has a better suggestion, like here's an overview of the town. Like where would you build? Where would you build a football stadium? I'll give you folks a point here where you can pause the video, and if you can see anything glaring that you think we need to change, improve or add, then I'm open to it. I'm also all for adding some more of these zones. So we obviously have the western, eastern quadrant here. We also have University Town. If you folks have any other suggestions for areas we could add, I'm all for it. I think we're going to add a rural area, possibly in here. Leth did suggest a mod to add in some rural buildings, so I might actually look into that and see if we can add it in here. And we'll have a nice little rural area where we try and keep everything a low residential area. We could put in some forestry here. That could be cool to do. Add that in. Could be cool to see how that plays out. We could add in some industrial zones here and some forestry zones. That's something we could add. But other than that, my friends, we're going to end there for the day. We have absolutely soared our income. We're making 25,000 a week. We're almost at 50,000 citizens. I'm going to need Amy to sit down and do our bus routes again because they have become redundant during one playthrough. Alas, we're done for this episode. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Really do love the interaction with you folks in the comments and the bit of banter and roleplay. Always welcome it. As always, I look forward to the next one, and I will speak to you folks then. Ta-ta for now.